We all thought the TV was showing us a horror movie. Pandemonium. Riots in the streets. Soldiers opening fire on civilians. People running for their lives, but towards the soldiers who were gunning them down. What the fuck is this? What did I miss? I figured something was wrong this morning when I tried to catch a non-existent bus. I guess this is why all these police cars and riot vans were speeding past. We all just stared at the carnage unfolding on the TV. The camera crews couldn't even get a clear view of what was happening. They were being pushed back by soldiers and police telling them to get back and the occasional voice telling them to run. After a few minutes of this televised anarchy, the feed cut out. It returned to a newsroom where everyone seemed panicked. Then came a chilling speech from the disheveled news broadcaster. Folks, we're getting reports all over the UK that, how do I even? He paused and covered his mouth, clearly holding back some emotion. The broadcaster next to him was obviously distraught. Her mascara was streaming down her face, dripping onto her neat tan blazer. He continued, "The government is warning everyone to stay inside. Do not leave your homes for any reason. Lock your doors and windows. Keep the TV on or have a radio on hand for further instructions. There's no way this is real. I've seen enough movies and played enough games to know what this is, but it couldn't be. It just couldn't be what I thought it was. I had to keep my hypothesis to myself. Otherwise everyone would think I'm mental. Fucking zombies, man." Ben exclaimed as he turned from the TV. "I guess I'm not the only one that thought it." "Fuck up, you," Megan shouted while throwing a spoon at him. "Zombies? Are you serious? How is it zombies, you dick?" Megan always had a way with words. Lewis jumped in to defend Ben. "How is it not? Folk running away from people that are trying to climb over the top of you, and soldiers just shooting everyone in a panic. I must have missed that on TV. People climbing over each other? I didn't see that." "Are you sure?" I asked. Ben pointed at the TV. Did you not see it? Folk were grabbing ones and pulling them to the ground. It's zombies, man. I'm telling you, I was almost ashamed to be convinced by this. I think I wanted to be. A zombie apocalypse was happening outside, and I didn't know what to think. I looked for Kathy to see what she was making of this whole situation. She was in the corner of the room, tears streaming down her face and trying to get through to someone on her phone, but being continuously met by a no-service tone. We locked eyes. She saw my concern. "My girls, they're at their child Minder's today." Her trembling hand raised to cover her mouth. "I'm sorry, I have to." Before she could finish her sentence, she grabbed her bag and ran out of the room and out of the building. I could have asked for a lift home, I suppose, but she seemed to be preoccupied. I don't really have any plans, though. I don't have anyone to check on. No family. No friends. I thought I would kick into gear like the movies, telling everyone my big elaborate plan to get everyone to safety and survive this thing. I guess everyone has ideas like that. To be the hero. To be the one who saves the day and looks badass while doing it. It reminded me why I'm here. At this non-descriptive office building. At this shit job working for an absolute prick, barely making enough money to cover rent on a one-bedroom flat. I could have been my own hero. But instead, I landed myself in a heaping pile of misery and mediocrity. Just before I could get myself into a full-blown existential crisis. Sprinting back through the door of the building, screaming the whole way was Kathy. Before she made it as far as the break room, following close behind, stumbling through the open door, was exactly what we feared. It was awful. A visibly decomposing man. He had an expressionless look on his face and eyes as white as milk. His skin was blotchy and cracked. It was near peeling off in some places. I couldn't believe it. It was an actual member of the undead horde. A zombie. As Kathy came crashing into the break room, she started pointing at the zombie out in the hall, trying her best to say something amid her frantic crying. We all got up to see this macabre entity shambling through our workplace. It looked up at us, all just standing in the doorway of the break room, staring at it. The rational part of me wanted to see what we were dealing with. If it really was a walking cadaver, I wanted to see what kind it was. Was it a Romero zombie or a Snyder zombie? I got my answer. Its face went from a blank expression to one of pure rage. It let out a raspy, gargled scream and began running toward us. You've got to be fucking joking. They run. They fucking run. Not a full sprint, but just faster than a jog. Lewis shoved past everyone wielding a large knife from one of the kitchen drawers. With one powerful motion, he plunged the knife into the top of the zombie's head. Just like that, it slumped over and lay there, pouring blood onto the pale orange carpet. As we all just stared at the body, Lewis had already gone over and closed the front door and was starting to barricade it with nearby tables and chairs. I was so stunned about what I just saw that I just stood there. This is what we needed. Someone to immediately take charge and be the hero to get us through this. 'Cause it sure as shit wasn't going to be me. As I stood there, Lewis and Ben began barricading all the doors leading outside. Megan was helping too, and Samantha was complaining that everything was too heavy for her to lift. I wanted to help, but I could only focus on Kathy. She was on the floor of the break room, quietly sobbing. I don't blame her. She has kids out there, family that she has to help. She needs to be a mother. Her children need her. But she's stuck in here, with this skeleton crew of a workforce that was in the process of locking everything down. I didn't like the idea of staying here. I hated the place on normal days, and now it was going to be a prison, keeping me here until help arrives, which is unlikely, or until the undead break in and tear into me like a spoiled kid playing past the parcel and the music just stopped. Lewis and Ben looked like they had been ready for this for a long time. They jumped into action so fast it was as if they had practiced this 100 times. They were barking orders at Megan and Samantha like they were commanding troops while I was waiting for someone to shout my name and issue me something to do, but thankfully no such order came. We were holed up in the office for about 3 hours at this point. The TV wasn't issuing any instructions, and the radio was just static. We were on our own by the looks of it. There would be the occasional sound outside, breaking up the silence. Screaming, cars speeding past, the rare gunshot or explosion. I was walking the halls of the office for a while when I heard some metal clicking noises coming from one of the doors. I peeked around the corner to see Kathy, trying to pick the lock of the boss office. "What are you doing? What are you expecting to find in there?" I asked. Kathy just nodded her head towards the window. I looked outside at the rear car park. Sitting there was Leslie's BMW. If his car is here, his keys should be in here. And that thing is probably a lot faster than my car. Kathy muttered, not looking up from the lock. Besides, she continued, mine is surrounded by those bastards. It was a decent plan, I suppose. It was the only one involving actually leaving this place. And honestly, I was sick of listening to Samantha complaining about everything. Are you able to pick it? I asked. No, I'm just doing what I see on TV. You just take a hairpin and wiggle it, right? Not exactly. I chuckled. Well, what do you think we should do? This was my moment. Stand back. I stood firmly and with all my might, delivered a Sparta kick to the edge of the door, and to my surprise, it came right off its hinges. It probably made me look cool, but honestly my ankle just really hurts now. Wow, look at you. All big and tough. Kathy smiled. I felt proud of my manly accomplishment. It felt like when you were at school and the teacher asked if there was a big strong boy to put all the chairs away, and you would lift the whole stack of chairs. A god among mortals. Kathy and I entered the room. Surprisingly, no one seemed to hear the sound of a door being kicked off its hinges just down the hall. I had never been in Leslie's office. It's exactly how I imagined it. Fake wood paneling with cheap fake gold trim along the walls. An antique spinning globe, undoubtedly full of alcohol. There was a large leather reading chair in the corner. I pointed at it. I figured Leslie would have a cuck chair. Hey, what? Nothing. We went back to searching the office. Kathy rushes over to the desk and snatches a set of keys just sitting next to a computer monitor. Yes, got them, Kathy exclaimed. Wait a minute. If his keys are here and his keys are here, where is he? I asked. Don't care. I'm getting out of here. Kathy walked out the office with a spring in her step. I was more concerned with what else was in here. A few bookshelves. Boring. A few framed photographs. Meh. Top drawer of the desk. Stationery. Pens, paper, and post-it notes. Closing the drawer, I was about to give up hope on finding anything of use in the office. Until I opened the bottom drawer. You have got to be fucking joking me. No way. Inside the drawer was a Browning high-power 9mm pistol. Of course Leslie has a gun. And in the UK, a very illegal gun. Handguns are completely banned. Leslie really thought he was some big player, didn't he? He was convinced he was some sort of Tony Montana-type character with all this money and power. Fucking loser. I pick up the gun and check the magazine. Full mag. I click the safety on and put it in my waistband. To be honest, I'm a bit of a firearm enthusiast. I know the 4 rules of gun safety, and I've played enough video games to know how this model works. I think I'll keep this to myself. I'm not having everyone arguing about who gets the gun. None of them would know how to use it safely, and I'm not dying in a zombie apocalypse because some idiot didn't keep their finger off the trigger and kept flagging me. Catching up to Kathy, I helped her move a table out of the way of the rear door. Where are you going? It was Samantha. I knew I smelled a haze of blueberry vape clouds. Before I could say anything, Kathy answered. I need to get out of here. I'm not staying with you a lot. I have kids and they need me. I was expecting a protest, but to my surprise, Samantha asked to come with us. I don't want to stay here either. Louis and Ben are acting like wankers, and I want to go home to my dog. I want to make sure he's okay. I couldn't fault her. As much as I wasn't really fond of her, it was nice that we were forming some sort of team. We cleared the path to the door and cautiously walked outside. Kathy wasted no time and ran towards the car. As she was figuring out how to unlock it, Samantha and I were slowly walking towards the car. That sound again. A pained howling scream. We turned around and saw a small group of zombies. About 5 or 6. Samantha and I turned around to get into the car, but as we did, the car roared to life and pulled out the parking space. Before we could even attempt to get in, the car sped away and out of the car park. Kathy was gone. As she was speeding away, Samantha chased after her, throwing her vape at the car. Come back. Don't you dare, you fucking bitch. It was too late. The undead horde was already halfway across the car park and picking up speed. I just legged it and told Samantha to follow me. We ran for what felt like hours. Every street had more and more undead, and we had to change direction constantly. I was completely gassed and gasping for air. I had never ran like this before. Eventually, we came across a familiar sight. The newsagents I visited earlier that day. We sprinted into the shop, shoving open the door and pushing it closed as fast as we could. The two of us worked like clockwork to get in and pull some shelves in front of the door. We waited for a few minutes to catch our breath and to assess the situation. It seemed quiet. There weren't any signs of the walking corpses outside, but at least we're safe. For now, at least.